This van has brought me some of the most stressful, uncertain situations, but also the most magic and miracles. It was stolen twice and it came back to us completely ripped apart, so we had to rebuild it and then went on an amazing adventure along the whole east coast of Australia. And then we had many breakdowns, but we found out that it actually saved our life. So I bought this van with my then situationship but now partner in Melbourne, and we'd been saving up for it for like 7 months, and the day we were meant to get it registered, it gets stolen, and we just got our whole dream taken away from us because obviously it wasn't registered, so it wasn't insured either. So we literally just had everything taken away from us in one moment and didn't know what to do other than cry about it, laugh about it. It was us the day we found out. Still trying to enjoy life and stay positive and just trust that everything was going to work out. The 2 days we were wondering what had happened, and though my sorrow and uncertainty was super high, my trust in the universe was much higher. And then we heard back from the police. They'd found the van, and I was so full of faith and hope again until I saw the state of it. So a serial criminal had taken the van for an absolute rampage, stealing and selling things for drugs. He'd ripped out everything. There was a roof rack, a battery, a fridge, and it was all gone. There was cabinets. He'd just absolutely destroyed anything that was in the van. And he'd cut all the wires of random things. It was just heart sinking to see all the damage he'd done, but also quite funny. Crack pipes and white powder everywhere, like baby carriers and a random car steering wheel, multiple keys from all the other victims. Oh, and we had his court papers for all the crimes that he was currently on bail for when he stole the van. He'd stolen someone's electric scooter which had a GPS in it. So that's how they found our van. Otherwise, who knows if we would have ever seen the van again. And that could have been the end of our entire trip. And then while it's in the mechanics getting repaired for, all the ignition and everything that had been destroyed, it gets stolen again. But the mechanics found it just around the corner, and we had to wait another whatever it was to get it fixed again. So yeah, even though many people told us you're so unlucky to get your van stolen twice, I guess we try and see the positive in it, and the fact that we got it back twice is a miracle. So we've got to be grateful for that. Clearly there's some luck somewhere. So yeah, it felt like no matter what, this van was meant for us since it kept coming back. And that's how it got its name, Boomdini. So a friend of ours, the first time it got stolen, said you should call it Houdini. It's magic and disappears and reappears. And then it happened the second time, and I said, oh, why don't we call it Boomerang, because it keeps coming back. So we merged the two to Boomdini. So the van didn't even start by this point, and we had no clue how much it was going to cost to repair all of this and how long it would take. And we already had limited funds because we'd been saving all this money for this van and the trip. And we start to panic and wonder how it's all going to happen. We had a festival booked in I think it was 3 weeks from when all this happened. So we were really pushed for time and money and just getting super stressed. But with the generous donations and help from all our friends in our community, we managed to get Boomdini all fixed up and managed to get to the festival in time. We had a friend make a video for us to help us with our GoFundMe page. And I'm so grateful that they were able to document us getting the van back and looking through all the things, because at that time we were just not in the headspace to be videoing and talking to a camera out of our own thoughts. So I'm very grateful that he was able to document that. All the help was so heartwarming, and it showed us the power of community and friendship. Like, we would be screwed without all of our amazing friends. So thank you so much to anyone who was involved in that. We wouldn't have been able to do it without you, and I'll be posting more videos to show you all the amazing adventures that you've helped us go on. And there's plenty more on Boomdini's account with my partner Charlie. So it meant we got to start from scratch and make it our own and rebuild it. It became mine and Charlie's collaborative DIY project full of problem solving and learning, which really strengthened our own bond and made it so rewarding to be able to finally set off, having truly earned it. And the sweet relief of having it all fixed up and registered in our name was worth all the struggle. We developed such an emotional attachment to this van after seeing it just be abused and then wanting to take it in and nurture it and fix it back up. It really became our baby. And then traveling in it and living in it, it's your whole life on the road. It's got everything. It's so special to have this little home that you take with you everywhere. Being able to go explore and then come back to your home and all your things in, just parked next to the forest that you've just been exploring, or the mountain, or it's so cool. We would come back from nights out and just hug him and just speak to him like he was a child. And yeah, I know a lot of other van lifers have this same attachment, but I never thought I'd have this much of a connection to a vehicle. So we got to go to the festival and made it all the way to the top of the East Coast with no issues. We really lived our Aussie van life dream, exploring, hiking, surfing, living barefoot in a bikini. It was the best time of my life. Until we broke down 4 times. Well, the van broke down 4 times. I broke down many more times. So this first happened when we were living in a house, luckily, in Port Douglas, which is an amazing hippie jungle paradise. We were working there for 2 months to save up for the road trip down, and then it broke down. So we found ourselves stressed and pressed for time and money again, and again wondering how this would all work. And each time we thought it was fixed, then it would happen again and we'd replace something new, and again it would just repeat itself. It ended up sucking about half of our savings that we'd earned up there, and we were just so frustrated with Boomdini and just begging him to start, begging him to get us to where we wanted to be. And we couldn't work out why it was all happening now. We'd made it all the way up the East Coast, no problems, and yeah, it was super frustrating not knowing why. And we were so dependent on this man. When it's your home and your whole life, you're just so lost without it. It's so stressful. So it turns out there had been faulty work done by the mechanics, and things were leaking onto things that definitely shouldn't have been leaking onto each other, and it could have exploded. So the final mechanic actually said that we were lucky to be alive because the engine is right underneath your seat. And yeah, they said it was very probable that it could have blown up. So in the end, we realised that it was breaking down because, he's saving our life. If he started, then who knows? Maybe, we wouldn't be here. So it's like the burnt toast theory. When something in the moment seems super inconvenient, is actually saving you from something much worse. So we learned a lot to surrender and to trust that there's a deeper reason to why things may pan out the way they do. And in these chaotic times, there's always a silver lining. We were so lucky that whenever it did break down, we were in a position or place that we were able to get the help from friends. So the first 2 times it happened, we still had a house to live in. The third time, our friends, Nina and Corey, took us in their rooftop tent that on their van. So we were able to have a little sleepover night and have actually had a really nice camp night out by a lake. The last time it happened, we were able to stay with our friend's family and made memories that maybe wouldn't have happened, had everything gone to plan. So yeah, it taught us to be very grateful and surrender when things aren't in your control. And I hope this gives people some hope that even if things aren't working out to plan, there's always a lesson to be learned and love to be shared. So try and be grateful, because there is always a silver lining. You've just got to find it. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. And if you'd like to hear more about my crazy adventures, keep connected.